Bring it down here.
Down here? All right. That's... What just happened?
Well, folks, we don't condone burning tires off on a regular because they're so expensive, but my brother Ray has already, the tire on the bike's probably as old as Junior. So we're about to mount this Michelin Commander out here for him. So we figured, let's get our money's worth out of that old Dunlop. So I think, what's the date code on the tire? It's like 05 or something?
No, I think it was 08. But
08, so the tire's...
All right, we got a ways to go, man. 27 years I've been riding this same bike, brandy spanking new, 1995 Harley-Davidson XLH 1200 Sportster. It's, in all these years, and it's probably got half its miles in behind my farm, you know, going down dirt roads.
There's more, you know, not many people keep a motorcycle for 30 years,
yeah.
Right? And we're in the business, so we see that all the time. People change them like they do, you know, sneakers.
Yeah,
so
well, I've had other ones, but this one here, I've never, you know, I've never even considered.
How did you end up with the motorcycle? Like
when Dad died, when our father died, you and I freaking took our insurance money and bought me a motorcycle, basically.
I had a Harley, I had a black FXR, so.
TSI, and I remember I was going to get one of those too.
We could have story time with Uncle Ray, and we probably will around a campfire someday. It might be PG, but we did a lot of crazy shit growing up.
It's going to be a long episode.
But so many great memories of us riding dirt bikes and street bikes and all the cool bikes we had. But this bike here has a special place in his and my heart because we bought this with the money from my dad's estate, and Ray kept it 30 years. I've had probably, I don't know how many Harleys since then, but
27. But yeah,
a lot, yeah.
I mean, I've had other street bikes, but this I've always had, never considered selling, never will. You know, my grandkids will be fighting over it, you know.
So what did Lance on a high level did a full Monty service on this thing? Yep. Mechanically, it's all set except for the tires.
He resealed up the carbs. He did the clutch cable. He rerouted the throttle cable. I guess he bought throttle cables for it, but they kind of suck from China, and so he went with the original throttle cable. Just cleaned it up. He resealed. He did the adjusted the primary, changed all the fluids, put a new primary cover on it.
New battery.
And he put a new bracket because it started to crack, and my gauges were just like vibrating. So I used to wrap like black tape around them just to hold them, and I put something in between them to keep it good. But he fixed that, which is awesome because that kind of sucked. And I got to tell you, Lance freaking got this bike running about as good as it ever has. I just ripped it around here, and you can tell it's super crisp. So I really hats off to Lance. He knows what the hell he's doing.
The next step is put the Michelins on there. Those are Michelin Commanders. Yep. It's going to handle like a dream with those on there.
Yep.
That's Lance is a Sportster expert. He's probably the best Sportster tech around. He actually set the land world speed record. I don't know if you knew this, but I've said it a bunch of times. I'll say it again. He set the land world speed record on a Buell that he bored and shook to 1,340 cc's.
Evo motor.
He went 187.5 miles an hour both ways on a Buell with a wheelbase shorter than this, which is completely insane.
Yes, it is.
But so it's been totally. Now what we haven't done is we haven't given it a cosmetic restoration. That's next.
It's fresh out of the barn, basically.
Fresh out of the barn.
When it sat here for 2 years.
Yeah, on the 4th floor.
And you guys lost my keys.
Did we lose the keys?
Yep.
Oops.
They were the ones that, remember I gave them to you. They had the little medallion. It was like a medal or something, black and silver.
Man, it's company policy. Leave the keys in the ignition rack.
But I handed them right to you, motherfucker. But long story short, that's a minor thing. Who cares? But I love this bike. This, you know, I've ride a lot of other crap, and I even have a 1400 Concourse.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, today's bikes, they have too much electronic. Who wants ABS and traction control on your motorcycle? That's freaking ridiculous, okay? That thing, you know, I mean, when I hit the gas, I want to expect it to slide out and use it to steer, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want the thing to freaking retard the timing and you know, and try to outguess what you're trying to do, you know? Because, you know, that's not who we are. But this thing here, this is as honest a bike as you get. When you see a picture, like if they have a yellow sign like watch for motorcycles, the profile of this bike is what you see. You ever notice that? Have you ever seen that? Like, you know, this is the classic motorcycle design. This is how they're intended to be. No more, no less. Everything out in the open. You can see what's going on. And these sporties are awesome, man. They really are.
Well, once it's done being detailed, and it's all and the new tires on it, and it's totally done.
Yep.
We'll take it for a ride down Reservoir Road, and if you want to take it to the next level, what I would suggest doing is Legend cartridge inserts here. We'll new fork springs and Legend cartridge inserts and a new set of shocks, and it'll handle like it's on rails.
Like a dream.
Yeah, like it never has before.
They already handled pretty good, but I'll take your word for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I've always been very confident riding this bike. You've seen me.
Yeah.
You know? I'll rip this thing around corners and apexes, and the thing will start sliding on me just a little bit. You know, just break a little bit of traction, a little bit of counter steer, and yeah, this thing's awesome. I remember the first time Kenny and I went for a long ride together. We were going to Uni-fucking-Dilla, remember? And he was riding a Buell. You were riding a Buell like Superlight, I think, or something like that. And I was riding this. You know, basically they have the same motors, right?
Yep.
And we were going down Route 57 through like Granville or somewhere, heading west on Route 57 up in Massachusetts. And nice twisty turny, you know, and just we were riding like 5/10, just having a good time, you know. And this guy goes flying by us on a 929 RR, remember?
Yeah.
A CBR 929 RR. He goes right around the outside of me on the apex. I didn't even know he was coming, you know. And I was like, oh no. And I remember I was like, click, click, third gear, tucked down beneath the, just looking over these gauges. And I did the same thing to him on the next corner and never looked back. And we got to the corner of 57 and 23, and I needed gas bite in because these things don't have, So I pulled in there, and I turned around, and there's nobody back there. I'm like, because that had been like 10 or 15 minutes. And nobody's even back there, you know. I'm like, well, shit, I got to go take a leak. So I go behind the station and do that, and I come out, and here these guys are just pulling up, you know. And the fucking guy, the next one, comes over and goes, that's a freaking Harley? He couldn't believe it. That was just a regular. I go, yeah, it's a Sportster, dude. You know.
Ray, you want me to tell you what we're gonna do with the next? Come around this side over here and take your glasses off so you can see what I'm talking about. What we're gonna do is we're gonna steam clean the entire motorcycle, high pressure, hot water steam clean it.
Sweet.
Then hand wash it and rub your fingers lightly because you'll scratch
rough,
it.
yeah.
And rub it on the tank. It feels like very bumpy.
You know what my dog would say? That's rough.
Yeah. Well, so we're gonna do a 3-stage paint correction on this, where it'll be super cleaned, then it'll be polished with a number 3 polish.
Well, you just pull them right off and do it off the bike. So
No, actually, they'll probably do it. Actually, yeah, he probably will take the fender
'cause
off.
you get these
This isn't the original seat. We're gonna put the original seat back on it, and we're gonna get it totally dialed in cosmetically. And then it's up to you if you want to go to the next level and put the Legend suspension on it, which I highly recommend doing. Make it handle like a dream. If you want to,
it's only 27 years old. You know?
Yeah. Hey, our dad used to say suspension's for pussies,
That's
but
right.
but seriously, you're not a spring chicken anymore. So having a nice set of shocks to comfort your back and stuff, it'll handle way better.
These aren't Cadillacs, you know.
I have a suggestion for you, and you can do it as you may, but you're not getting any younger. And our dad used to say you're all going to be. Our dad used to say in 30 years we'll all be dead, and no one will give an F. That's what he used to say, right? But now we were kidding earlier. Now it's in 6 to 10 years we'll all be dead.
Probably by the end of the month.
We're getting any younger. So if we're lucky, we'll live another 30 years. But maybe that's unlikely. But in any event, you should leave this in your will to your oldest daughter because she rides motorcycles, and I think she would appreciate it. I would leave it to Kayla.
Probably.
You know, because this has been in the family since it was new.
Yep.
Who else would? I mean, your other daughters don't ride, so. Well, I think Kayla would really appreciate it.
You know, I was starting to tell him the story when we first got this and how the scratches got on it.
It was Kayla.
And
it seems fitting that she ends up with it.
They had you were with the 5th chapter back then. I had never even met these guys. And
Tell them, the fifth chapter is a 1% motorcycle club. I was a road captain for it, so. And I won the bike games 3 years in a row. I won all the events.
So they wouldn't let them compete, right?
They said I couldn't compete. So I called Ray and I said they don't know you. So Ray came and he won every game and they're like, you got to shill, you know. So he smoked them.
Yeah, I was a ringer. They said,
won every single bike game.
Yep.
If you don't know what bike games are for MCs or Harley-Davidson, cops are here. They.
Big Doc.
Nah, that's
Don't worry about this. Hey Doc. That wasn't, it was just a little chimney smoke, sir. That's all.
There, bro.
He wonders why his tranny keeps blowing. So he's burning rubber. Where were we? Oh, so he won all the bike games on this. And then he was kicked out. He wasn't allowed to come back
That was
the
all,
next
that
year.
was all done. That
One
was a lot
shot.
of money, I think, doing that too. Yeah, like, it was. I remember that as clear as day. That was at Acorn Acres Campground, right on
Basra.
Gardner Lake in Salem. I think.
Memorial Day weekend.
Salem. Was that?
If Kill is not a fan of the Sportster,
You think you could?
I know a guy.
You can always leave it to your
I mean,
nephew.
if you had it, I'd rest easy. You know what I'm saying?
Cool is that?
Freak yeah. You know, keep it in the family at least. You know.
My first bike was an 03. So
Really?
The 1200th anniversary. Yeah, we had an NHRS.
These 1200s are. I mean, like you know, when you look at the numbers, they're not that impressive and stuff. But I went riding a bunch.
They're
of
a lot of
times
fun to ride.
with a lot of people, and you know, especially if you have a little bit of a skill advantage. Bye bye.
Want to do a couple wheelies up the driveway?
I thought you'd never ask.
They be careful of employees coming.
I don't want to. I got to keep my
Hey,
license.
be careful of employees. No, only not in the street, just driveway. Coming up the driveway. Don't flip it and watch out for employees. They fucking come flying around the corner at the bottom. There you go.